if you're having trouble falling asleep at night, or that 2:30, 3 a.m. wake up where your brain won't turn off is really driving you crazy, then this episode is for you, because we're going to talk about using cannabis for sleep today. Hi, I'm Beth. I'm your personal trainer and cannabis educator, and we're talking about sleep today because let's be honest, if you're not sleeping well, then all of your other healthy habits are probably going down the tubes, right? I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, and one of the biggest reasons that people do not make their training sessions or make it to their workout class is lack of sleep. Because when you don't sleep good, you feel like trash. And I'm not telling you anything you don't know, because if you're not sleeping well, you know it feels like absolute garbage, right? You can't focus, you can't function, your brain is foggy, you don't have any energy, you're not in a good mood, you're irritable, you're easily frustrated. All you want to do is lay down, and chances are you can't do that because you're an adult and you probably have responsibilities. You certainly don't feel like working out. That's a big deal. And cravings. Oh my gosh, lack of sleep is a huge driver of cravings because, okay, your body is looking for energy, right? Your body was supposed to get energy from sleeping. You're supposed to recover and give you new energy, but you didn't sleep. So now your body needs to get energy from somewhere. And like one of my clients said yesterday, she was like, I needed coffee and coffee cake because she didn't sleep and she was exhausted. And I was like, I get it. You know, that's super. I hear this all the time is people are grabbing like a 3 p.m. snack that they probably don't really need. You know, I mean, how many people really need coffee cake in the afternoon? But, you know, your body was searching for energy, and she knew she still had things to get done, and she still had to work out, and she needed energy. So, of course, you know, your body is looking for any way that it can get energy, and sugar is a great way. Caffeine is a great way. My thing is, let's really fix this sleep. Let's get to the root of the problem and fix the sleep, because that alone will fix, you know, your ability and desire to work out more. It'll fix your cravings. It'll fix that 3 p.m. sugar habit, because you'll be rested. And when you're rested, your body doesn't seek all those alternatives, the sugar, the cravings, the irritability, the frustration, all of that. So, cannabis for sleep. There are so many options using cannabis for sleep, and I want to make sure that you know the very basics of what you're looking at, because whether you use cannabis now or whether you're brand new to it, there's a few things you might not know about how it affects your sleep. As always, I'm going to keep this super surface level. I'm not going to get too into the weeds of the science. I am not a super sciencey person, so I'm going to try to make this as understandable as possible. Of course, if you want more science, you can always deep dive into it. But the gist of what I want to say is THC, the kind of cannabis that makes you high, is great for falling asleep. It promotes sleep. It makes you drowsy. It can make you drowsy. It can make you so relaxed that your body will naturally fall asleep, right? Now, CBD, the non-intoxicating kind, does not make you high. It's kind of like cousin, right? THC's cousin. Comes from the same plant. Comes from the exact same plant. Different compound. Helps you stay asleep. So when when I have a conversation with a client about sleep, my first question is, okay, well, tell me what's really going on. Are you trying to go to bed at 11, but you're laying there until 1:30? You know, is that the problem? Or are you falling asleep easily, but then you've got that 2:30, 3 a.m. wake up where you lay there and you're like, okay, if I fall asleep now, I can still get 2 more hours, you know, because you have to get up, right? So you do that math in your head. Oh, it's so terrible. I've been there. Then that changes, whatever's going on, changes the trajectory, changes the tool that we're going to use, right? So falling asleep, you're going to look for THC, right? The kind that does make you high and helps promote sleep. It makes you so relaxed. But CBD, right? CBD is going to help you stay asleep all night. Now, my best advice, honestly, you know, is to find a product that uses both, right? If you are using a full spectrum product, that means you are getting both THC and CBD. The amount of each in the product will vary depending on what it is and how it's been cultivated. But a full spectrum, and again, this is just a term that you may or may not know, a full spectrum product means that it has some of each in it, because that's how the plant is naturally set up. It naturally has both in it. When it comes to your gummies, your drinks, your tinctures, your kind of everyday things that all of us are buying on the internet or in a dispensary, now there's where you want to look at the label very closely, right? A lot of products that are designed for sleep do have both in it, right? They are, the producers are getting smarter and they know that that's how it works. But I would definitely suggest looking for a product that has both THC and CBD in it. That way you get the benefit of the relaxation to help you fall asleep and the CBD to help you stay asleep, regardless of which one is the issue. But whichever one is the real issue, so if you're having trouble falling asleep, you're trying to go to bed at 10, but you lay there until 12:30, then you're going to want a higher percentage of THC to CBD. Okay, you're going to want more of the THC because you're going to want more of that effect. Okay, you want to be more relaxed. If you are more of you fall asleep and then you wake up in the middle of the night and your brain doesn't shut off, that's where I would say you want more CBD. Okay, you want more CBD because that's going to help you sleep through the night. So you'll find that in different products they have what we call ratios. So if it has THC and CBD in it, it'll say like 1-to-1 or 2-to-1 or 5-to-1, and that's indicating the percentage of each compound that's in the product. So if it's a 2-to-1 THC to CBD, that means there's twice as much THC as there is CBD. So that's a product I would give to someone who's having trouble falling asleep. Okay, I do want to make a note about whether or not you like to be high, because I know that a lot of people don't care for that, and that's totally fine. You can get the benefits of cannabis for sleep without getting high, because especially if you don't use it very often, or if you're not a regular heavy user, you're gonna get what you need from a microdose of THC. Okay, so you can look for products with minimal amounts of THC in it and still get that relaxation effect that promotes sleep. It'll make you so relaxed you're going to fall asleep, even at the smallest amounts. On the other hand, CBD works better in higher amounts. But the good news is, if you're not wanting to get high, you don't have to be afraid of that, because the more CBD you use, you're not going to get more high. That doesn't happen at all. You're not going to get any high. It's just going to work better if you have more CBD. So don't be afraid. I would say, if you're going to remember something, be careful of too much THC, because that can have the opposite effect. It can make you not fall asleep and give you terrible anxiety if it's too high. Be careful of too much THC. Don't worry about too much CBD, right? Look for a product that has both. If you need to fall asleep, more THC. If you need to stay asleep, more CBD. I'm going to throw one quick caveat in this information, and that's called CBN. CBN is a similar compound to both of those, right? Scientifically, actually, THC, when it degrades, when it gets really, really old, it turns into CBN. So CBN used to be THC. It's so old that it won't make you high anymore, right? Especially not in the amounts that they put in the gummies. But you'll see, if you shop at a dispensary or online, things that are formulated for sleep often have CBN in it, right? So go for it. If you see CBN, go for it. Don't be afraid of it. It's not going to make you high. It's going to help you both fall asleep and stay asleep. The hard part is, honestly, I think the hardest part for most consumers is just that there's so many products that it's hard to know what to get. And I think a lot of people are listening to just their friends or their family and like, oh, I take this, try this, and sometimes that works great, but everybody's different. So don't worry if something that your sister gives you that works for her doesn't work for you, that doesn't mean that all cannabis is not going to work for you. There are so many different formulations. Everybody is different, that you might have a slightly different reaction than your family. So don't give up on it. If this is something you'd like help with, I'd be happy to help you kind of narrow it down for yourself. But I think hopefully hearing this information gives you a better understanding of what to look for, what to shop for, and that you might have to try a couple of things. You know, if you get something, it doesn't work, you know, then you're going to have to try something else and see how that works. That is the nature of cannabis. Unfortunately, however you want to look at it. I like it because I think it's fun to try different things, but it can be frustrating when you're trying to overcome something like sleep. So that's it, guys. I just wanted to give you that information about sleeping so that you know what to look for, what to shop for, because sleep is critical. And sleep, if you get a good night's sleep on a consistent basis, you're going to be more likely to hit your workouts. You're not going to have cravings. You're going to feel much more in control of your emotions. You're going to have less irritability, less frustration, and you're going to feel better overall. So if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. My email is beth@cannafitnessnutrition.com, and I hang out mostly on Instagram, where I'm Beth_CannaFitnessNutrition. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what you're using for sleep, if you have any questions, or even if there's something else you want me to talk about on the podcast. So thank you so much, and I will see you next time.